Welcome to another crypto cruise. Today I'll be talking crypto inside a brand new 2024 Jeep Wrangler 392 Final Edition. Man, it is difficult to get inside this Wrangler 392 with 35-inch tires. It is very difficult. There's no side steps. So if you are under 6 feet or you have very short legs, it's difficult to get in. But let's talk Bitcoin and crypto. What am I going to talk about this week? Well, there are a few things that stuck out this week. So let's talk about Tether and stablecoins. I think that's a big deal. And let's talk about the network in terms of transactions, and also let's talk about good old BlackRock. Let's talk about these three things. I think they're important for this week. First of all, Tether normally is not a interesting topic, to say the least. So why am I talking about it now? Well, I've noticed, and I'm sure you guys have noticed because I covered it, $3 billion worth of Tether was minted just this week alone. $3 billion. And in total, Tether is at an all-time high in terms of issuance, right? So how Tether works is you go to Tether and say, hey, I want to buy one USDT, and we'll give you $1. So it's a one-to-one exchange, basically, right? So for $3 billion to be minted means that someone went to Tether and said, you know, I want $3 billion. Of course, it's not just one person. It could be like 100 people, 100 corporations or whatever. But still, it's $3 billion. Now, why would anyone want Tether? The obvious choice is because they want to buy crypto with it. There's no other reason, right? It's the only reason why you would want Tether, to buy crypto. So the fact that $3 billion came in and we saw Bitcoin not move that much this week, you know, several thousand up. We hit a low of 58,000. Now we're like, you know, a little bit above 60,000, right? 61,000. I mean, so obviously we don't see immediate impact because I think a lot of these guys are still waiting. There are a lot of USDT sitting on exchanges. There are a lot sitting on wallets. And I think they're waiting. And it's making me super, super excited about the parabolic bull run, which I've been talking about forever. And the reason being, when these guys are ready to buy, when the FOMO hits, we're talking about like $120 billion worth of USDT out there in circulation that can be used to buy Bitcoin and crypto. That's significant, guys. USDT has never been this high ever in history. Ever in history. Okay? And we had 3 billion being issued this week alone. I think that's significant. I think that's another sign that institutions and whales, they are loading up right now. We're getting ready to load up. You guys know how I talk about ETFs and BlackRock so much. And we'll talk about it some more. But I mean, that you can't argue against this, right? A lot of people will say, well, George, you say the same thing all the time. Bitcoin's price not going up. What's going on? You know what? I'm simply putting two and two together. Okay, all of these things are going to add up. You don't have people blindly buying USDT for no apparent reason. And these corporations, if they wanted to, they could always change back to USD, and then Tether will burn those USDT, right? Very, very little. I mean, I don't remember that many times where I've noticed USDT's market cap go down, because rarely do we see corporations actually, or whales, buy USDT and not use it. We just don't. So I think this is big. And obviously as we move forward in this parabolic cycle, we're going to see the issuance go up more and more and more. And in the future, we may see 5 billion, 10 billion being minted per week. That is coming. That's just in the crypto space. But what about outside the crypto space, people that want exposure and don't have it yet? Well, that's where ETFs come in, right? So BlackRock, I've been talking about them for a long time, and I'll continue to study them because I think it's a really easy way to gauge institutional interest, because BlackRock only has inflows. You just keep seeing inflow. BlackRock is the third largest Bitcoin holder, and this week BlackRock became, or when they flipped Grayscale in terms of overall crypto holding. That's huge too. We've never seen, I mean, think about it. Grayscale took them what, how many years to accumulate all that they have in their trusts, right? 10 years, 10 plus years. And now within 8 months, BlackRock has more crypto than Grayscale. That's how much BlackRock themselves are buying and institutions are buying, right? Again, another insight into what these institutions and big money and whales are doing. They are loading up right now. And we have a lot of metrics that I show you guys constantly in my streams that indicate the same thing, right? So these two facts are important. They are very, very important. So yeah, that's why I want to talk about them. And also something else that's, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, last week or last 2 weeks, we had some scare, right? With the U.S. Justice Department, they're selling, Mt. Gox selling. You know, strangely enough, this week we didn't have any transfers or sells from our government, right? The wallet has stayed. But Mt. Gox transferred about 70 million, but it didn't affect anything overall. So, I don't know. You know, maybe the selling is over. Maybe, I don't know, last week I speculated it could be like political or something, but, you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But, you know, if we see the remaining amount, which is still pretty large, 12 billion, if we see that not move for the foreseeable future, because, you know, we have elections coming up pretty soon, and who knows what the candidates want to do. By the way, RFK dropped out. I don't think anyone thought that he was going to win, but a lot of crypto people love RFK for his policies. He's the one that started saying that, you know, no CBDC. I'm going to create a reserve, a strategic reserve, right? And then Trump also followed, but now he's siding. He's going to endorse Trump. He may be a cabinet, you know, member. But who knows about the other side? What about Kamala and her side? Are they going to start embracing crypto? I'm hearing that they are. They're drafting up something that's also going to be pro-crypto. And if you have both sides being pro-crypto, then it's a win-win for all crypto people, right? But we'll see. We'll see. But maybe that's the reason why the U.S. government is not selling them more Bitcoin, because they're told not to. So that would be huge, right? I guess the last thing I want to talk about is, again, it relates to the big boys, but it also shows you how great the Bitcoin Bitcoin network is. So earlier this year, in January, all the way in January, there was a news report that came out, and some data analytic company came out and said, you know what, Bitcoin processed 46 trillion transaction volume, okay, in 2023. That was just last year. That's not this year. Remember, last year was horrible. Bitcoin was down. I can't imagine what it is going to be this year. We're talking about trillion, and that's more than Visa and MasterCard combined. So that report, actually, I researched it, I Googled it. It came out in January. Everyone forgot about it, but this week, you have the CEO, Franklin Templeton, coming out saying the same thing and saying how people are underestimating how amazing the Bitcoin network is. And if you think about it, it is really amazing, because unlike Visa and MasterCard, you can't shut down the Bitcoin network. No one can. Even if the United States said, we're going to ban Bitcoin, right? They can't do it because Bitcoin is decentralized. There are miners spread across the world. But they can shut down Visa. They can shut down MasterCard. There's no doubt about it. They can shut down both very easily. And both companies can stop your transactions very easily too, right? But you can't do that with Bitcoin. It's amazing how good Bitcoin's network is, how resilient and decentralized, and how no one controls it. It's just like a perfect system. It really is, right? But again, you got the CEO Franklin Templeton saying this, and you have many CEOs, of course, Larry Fink. You also have the CEO of Standard Charter. I forgot his name. You have Van Eyck, CEO Van Eyck, Jan Van Eyck. You got all these big guys talking about Bitcoin, right? While retail investors are not paying attention. That's a mistake. That's a big, big mistake, right? So even though we may be going sideways, we're going to get through it. We're going to get through the sideways movement. And once we go into parabolic stage, and that's later this year in 2025, I can't imagine the amount of press we're going to get, the amount of buying, the FOMO, the price appreciation. I mean, it's going to be absolutely insane. Imagine how it will be when Bitcoin is above $100,000, 125, 150. I think realistically we're going to be above 100,000 by the end of this year. I really think so. And next year, imagine when we're at 150, 175, 200, what the environment's going to be then. It's going to be absolutely insane, right? So, yeah, that's all. That's all I want to say in this video. As for this car, in case you're wondering, this is no ordinary Wrangler, okay? I know you guys have seen Wranglers like everywhere, right? But Jeep is making a mistake, or Fiat is making mistakes. Whoever owns Fiat Stentonellis or something, they're making a mistake. They're trying to go all EV, okay, with Jeeps, with Dodges, with everything. It's a mistake. So Jeep has this 392 edition, which is a big 6.4 liter V8. It's awesome. It's way better than their V6 offering, or our i6 offering. I forgot what it is. Or the Pentastar. Yeah, it was a V6. So the V8 is awesome. It sounds awesome and it's super fast. Okay, for an SUV this size, this is a big, heavy, tall SUV. But man, if you put the foot down, oh my god. Oh my god, it sounds amazing. Amazing. That V8 throaty exhaust can't be replicated with a twin turbo V6 or a hybrid. It's amazing. And this could do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, 470 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. This is an awesome, awesome engine, and Jeep has it. But this one I'm driving is called a Final Edition because Jeep and the upper management, they're stupid. So they want to go EV. They want to get rid of it. Okay, so this is a 2024, and they said this was going to be the last, like, hurrah for the V8 Jeep. So they priced this at MSRP at $102,000. 6 figures, right? Just like Bitcoin, we'll get to 6 figures. But then Jeep realized they made a mistake, and they're like, no, you know what? We're going to come out the 2025 edition too. Same car, but they don't know how many they're going to produce. There's no allocation, no pricing yet. So basically everyone who bought a 2024 one is now pissed because there's going to be a 2025 one. So from a collector's perspective, it sucks. But anyways, this is awesome. Awesome. It sounds awesome. It's fast. Does it drive good compared to a normal SUV? No, but surprisingly with the all-terrain 35-inch tires, it's decent in here. Jeep has made strides over the years to quiet things down, and it's not bad. I know my camera's shaking a lot because, you know, there's a lot of shakes in here. Suspension, live axles, you know, but you know, you can lock them, you can disconnect your sway bar, you can do whatever you want. There's a winch that's built in to this final edition. You literally can't get stuck with this car. If you do, then you're a noob and you have no idea what you're doing. But even with that winch, even if you're a noob, you could get yourself out. You're sitting high up, right? In this final edition, you have some copper stitching on the inside. You have some copper accents on the outside. Because it's 392, you have a big hood scoop. You know, it still looks like a Jeep. A lot of Jeeps out there are lifted with big tires. This is what it looks like, but it has a special like grill on the side. I mean, overall, if this wasn't $100,000, I would definitely consider it. You could get a normal 392 for like 70 or 80, but still for a Jeep, just really expensive. It's fun, but would I want to drive this as a daily car every day? The answer is no, right? But you can fit 4 people in here, and for this year they added a large new infotainment system that's modernized, so that's great. You finally get power seats, which is great. But you know, the whole point of a Jeep is you could just rip out the doors and the roof, you could spray down the interior. This one, because it's like fully leatherized, you can't really do that, so it kind of takes some of the outdoorness away from this Wrangler, but still it makes it more civil, and you can actually, like, you know, live with this car, you know, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall it's not bad. You know, you got a lot of stitching on the inside, the copper stitching. You see Rubicon 392, this is a Rubicon. This one also, the final edition, is lifted by 0.5 inches off the ground, so more than a normal Rubicon. So you get 11.5 inches of ground clearance instead of 11. That's pretty significant, just a ½ inch. I don't know what else you got. You got a special like toolbox in the back. The top opens up, the whole thing just like, you know, it's powered too. The whole thing retracts. Pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, overall it's a Wrangler. You know, it's one of the most popular cars in the US, right? You're sitting high up, you feel like you're commanding the road. Anyways, the full review on this will be coming up soon. So I'm just giving you guys a preview on this crypto cruise, but it will be on my Drivers Only channel. If you guys want to see it, go ahead and subscribe to Drivers Only. The link is in the description. And the one I drove last week, the Ioniq 5N, should be up by now, so you go ahead and check that as well. All right, guys, that is it. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this second crypto cruise. Overall this week, not a whole lot happened, but that's okay. We could have a calm week. We could have a sideways week. That is fine. Bitcoin is going sideways, but that just means we have more time to accumulate. Just like the big boys, they will continue to accumulate while retail investors panic. That's not the right move, panicking. Okay, so just continue to hold on DCA and you'll do just fine. All right, that's it. Take care.